Hey, welcome back to the Pretty Lounge YouTube channel. In this video, I will be showing you how I construct a wig using a sewing machine. In this video particularly, I will be making a U-part wig with a left part, and you'll see the type of cap that I use in just a second. Right now, I am unraveling a bundle of sleek straight in 12 to 14 inches from the Pretty Poppin collection. You can view all of our bundles online at thePrettyLounge.com/shop. You can look at all our wigs and our bundles, accessories, and all that good stuff on thePrettyLounge.com. What I'm doing at this time is I am making sure that the tracks are extremely flat and straight. Because our bundles come in brackets instead of the normal circle bundle, it causes the tracks to have creases and stuff in it. It makes it extremely hard to make sure that your wig is flat. So what I do before I sew any wig is flat iron out the track to make sure that it is extremely straight. Now I am going to proceed to double the tracks. You double the tracks so that you can get the maximum amount on a unit while making sure it is still flat. So I flat ironed the tracks first to make sure they are flat, and now I'm going to sew them together to make sure that we have volume on the unit that I'm currently going to make. And double tracking is very easy. You just put a track on top of the other track and literally sew it together. Some people sew them together literally. I sew one track on top of the other track just to make sure that it is flat when it goes on the cap. And as you can see here, our stitch is clean, the tracks are flat and doubled together. After this, I'm going to go ahead and draw my lines for my cap guideline. So when I go to sew, I know exactly where I'm sewing. I'm using a 22-inch Gel X wig block, and I'm using a cap with adjustable straps at the back, specifically for U-part wigs, and this one is particularly for a left part U-part wig. When I start to draw my guidelines, I start at the bottom underneath the adjustable strap part, I guess that's what you call it. And that is just to make sure there is a track at the very back of your neck, and then you'll still have the ability to put your adjustable straps in between that back track and the next track above it without noticing what's going on. Some people find this more comfortable instead of having the adjustable straps on the inside. I think it really doesn't matter, but it's good to have the adjustable straps if you need to make your wig tighter for your head. I do count how many lines that I make on my units. I believe on this unit in particular, there is 15 lines, and 3 of those lines at the top is only focused on the side where the bang will be, just to make sure that my client does have a nice amount of hair for their bang. So you can see here, I am just finishing up that guideline, and I will be sure to show you in the end what that guideline looks like. Now I am going to begin sewing this unit. So you take your double track, place it at the start of that line. Make sure you do a forward and a back stitch a couple of times before you begin to actually sew that track. And then when you get to the end, back, forth, make sure that you cut the excess lace off, and there you go. That's the track. I'm going to continue this process over and over and over again until I get finished with this unit. I didn't film the entire 15 lines, but I did give you enough just so you get a general gist of the pattern and your rhythm for making a wig on a sewing machine. It is very simple. You just make sure to forward, back, and then make sure to go forward on the track, and then at the end, same thing, forward, back, and then you can cut it off. Some people do a continuous stitch. I don't do that. I have preferred to just cut and make sure, you know, that the thread stops there at that track. While you're sewing, it is very important to make sure that your track is flat on the surface of the sewing machine, as well as the cap. It doesn't mean that you need to stretch the cap to make sure that it's flat, but you need to just make sure that the cap is flat, so that there is no bumps or anything in the wig, and that your client won't feel any, bumps or lumps in their wig. Nobody wants bumps and lumps in their wig. So stay tuned for me to finish making this unit on the sewing machine, and at the end you will see the finished process. So stay tuned. All right, so we have reached the point where we have finished one bundle, and I just sewed like a small portion of that second bundle on there just to, you know, fill the rest of that line. But this is one bundle on this wig. Our hair is very thick and full all the way to the ends. This one bundle is very full already on this U-part unit, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish sewing the second bundle on there, which should reach us all the way to the top of this unit. So as I near the top, I like to, you know, take a moment between each track just to make sure that the next track is going to be placed in the right position. I know I have a guideline, but I always like to just make sure that each, you know, section is covered appropriately with the track and that we have maximum coverage on the unit. I also wanted to let you all know that it is okay to take your time to make your unit on the sewing machine. A lot of people like to rush through this. It is a very fast process if you know how to make wigs already. It's way faster than, you know, sewing a wig by hand. It's way faster than that. But at first, you know, it's going to take you a little while just to make sure, you know, that everything is in order. And that everything is together when sewing this unit, because what you don't want to happen is you sew this entire unit on the sewing machine and then a track is loose. Dun, dun, dun. It's horrible. It's like the worst ever. While I was teaching myself how to do this, I had to go back and take plenty of tracks off of units because I wasn't doing it right. But I now have the formula mastered on what it is I need to do to make a wig on the sewing machine. And as you can see here, we are almost finished with this unit. So stay tuned for the final product. I will also be releasing another video showcasing how I styled this unit. At the end of this video, you will be able to see, you know, the unit freshly finished on a mannequin. But I have a whole separate video on how I actually styled this unit for a client, and it came out beautiful. So be sure to tune in to the Pretty Lounge channel on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button so that way you know when our next video is coming out. It looks like I am nearing the end of this unit finally. It looks like I'm on the last track, so stay tuned for the finished product. When you have finished constructing your unit on the sewing machine, you want to take it off, flip it inside out, and cut off all the excess thread. You don't want to give your client, or you yourself don't want to wear a wig with pieces of thread hanging out. Honestly, it could be a scary thing. You're probably thinking, oh my God, one of my tracks are going to fall off. Clients think that all the time. If I might have missed one thread on the inside, it's just like, nah, girl, I need to cut that off. So yeah, this is the finished product. She is beautiful on our mannequin. I haven't named her yet, but this is 12 to 14 inches of our sleek straight unstyled. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel and turn on your post notifications so that you can see our styling video for this U-part unit. Thank you again so much. I know I've said that 1,000 times for watching this video, but thank you, thank you, thank you.